You absolutely know the feeling. I've been there, had the t-shirt to commemorate the experience. Someone compliments you, and instead of fully absorbing it, you somehow awkwardly brush it off. Uh, it's nothing, or whatever. You're at a meeting, or maybe a dinner with family. There's a conversation that's happening. You have an opinion. You have something to say. Maybe it's a correction even, or actually, I don't think that's right. It's right there on the tip of your tongue, at the front of your mind. And yet, for whatever reason, your body acts brand new and shuts it all down. And in retrospect, you probably call that shy or reserved, or maybe that's just how I am. But I want to bring you to the front of the room. Come on forward, because I don't think shy or reserved or any other word right now is the term that is properly describing what's happening. And before you log off, bounce, and think that this video isn't for you, give it a chance and make sure. Because somewhere, it could have been in childhood, it could have been young adulthood, it could even be in adulthood. You built a version of yourself that was easy and agreeable, doesn't rock the boat, doesn't ruffle any feathers. Basically, you don't make things weird or uncomfortable. And that version has been with you for a very long time now, making it seem risky to be seen and heard. And let me say this delicately, somewhere in that building and shaping of this version, you moved away from the version that God created you to be. You're not in alignment with that particular path. Performances are exhausting, but we're going to talk about the root of that today. Welcome to Deep Work Haven. I am Takia, and this channel is mainly for the midlife woman, 35 and over. Definitely welcome to any woman experiencing the topics that we're talking about. We are doing the work of redefining clarity, boundaries, and self-trust. And that self-trust means that you trust in God. So come along with us on this journey and subscribe to the channel. Please make sure, let somebody know what we're doing over here. Okay, so let's talk about where this all came from, because I need you to understand it's not about a character issue. It's not about something innately wrong within you. This is something that was built through practices and repetition over time. Like many things, as I said before, it was fashioned to protect you. Your body is naturally set up this way. And that might have meant by staying small, you stay safe. Safe from criticism and correction, safe from seeming too much for some people, being labeled difficult because you want to speak and share what you have on your mind or with your thoughts, what you believe in. Even protection from letting people down and them showing you their disapproval or disappointment. All of these things could have been reasons for why your body decided to build this version of protection around you. But when you think about it, protection isn't the same as alignment. What kept you safe in the past is now in turn keeping you separate. And we don't want that. We're talking about being separated from the voice that God gave you, the intellect, the fervor, the mission, the purpose, all of those things that you were given innately. Your perspective, the way you interpret things, the way you see the world, those are yours and yours alone, and no one can take those away from you. So that's not a character or personality thing. And think about it. If you've been given this and you stifle it just so you can be easy and seem unassuming to whomever you're around, like I said, the job or even family members, strangers for that matter, that's shoving and pushing aside something you were supposed to present for the world. And by presenting to the world, that can mean different things. Everyone is not going to be on camera. You might mentor, you might be a teacher, you might be an activist. So there are different ways. You might be a writer, and create books that inform and give and contribute positively to the world. So don't be misguided by the language. And this is not even about confidence either. I can see how confidence will come into this conversation if you think about why you're not able to speak up for yourself or what is holding you back. But I want to move aside from that because I don't think that's the root of this particular conversation that we're having. It is more about what's called capacity. So essentially what you can hold. Well, I want to bring us to a spiritual capacity in the sense of going back to what we were given by our Creator and the capacity to be known by the people in our spaces, to be known in front of the Creator without this performance of what we think we should be presenting ourselves as. Well, that raises a question that we have to sit with. Are we afraid to be seen in our God-given self, our complicated human being selves? And would that break our performance? Would that crack it wide open? The act is over. And by that I mean you lose the approval that you worked so hard to attain outwardly. So a hint to that is perhaps it's in the wrong direction, because those two are totally different fears. One says, I don't know how to be visible. I don't know how to present myself. And the other one is, I know exactly how, but I'm afraid to show up as my authentic self because I'm afraid of what it will cost me. And if you're honest with yourself, it's probably the second one. Most of us didn't struggle with the part about being visible. We knew how to do that. We just, over time, created this more palpable version of ourselves. And it's a fear that version of yourself that people know will disappear, and then literally they will not know who you really are. So then what will they see, and will they approve of it? But the reality is we can't place our attention on the external approvals. That's where we get off the track completely, because human beings are fickle and we can go here, there, and everywhere. Our ultimate goal is for the approval of God. And that's where we have to just keep coming back to that. What would he want me to do? How does he want me to be? What does he want me to share with the world? What does he want me to keep, to myself? Because we're not talking about overexposure. There's modesty that must take place and must be kept. We're talking about things that have been given to you that you are to give to the world. Parts of yourself that you are to share with the world. So if you find yourself in those types of positions, ask yourself, what is it costing you to remain the way that you are? And exhaustion is probably going to be the least thing, that it's going to cost you. The exhaustion of keeping that performance up. But what is it going to do for your soul? If you have daughters, what would it do for your daughters to see you not give the gifts that God gave you to the world? It's a challenge to know sometimes what and what not to give or to share. So that's where you have your separate talks, with God, and sort of ask, for the guidance and the structure around that. But imagine if you are not being your authentic self, and that woman, that sister that needs your help, or needed you to be a support, and you don't speak up, you don't show solidarity. You are constantly swallowing your opinions, and the young women, your daughters, etc., or sisters, are seeing this and feeling that that's what women are to do. All because you felt it too risky to say something, to stand up. To be clear, what's entrusted with you is compounding. So every year that you are not in alignment with what God has placed in you to be, it's getting further and further away from your authentic self. That's what I mean. And that's really what's at stake here. So when you think about what's it going to cost you, think about what's it going to cost you on the other end as well. All right, so what do we actually do with this now? Here's what I want you to try this week. You need 5 minutes of your busy time. It's going to start with prayer and not performance. Before you walk into sort of like a low stakes situation, maybe it's a dinner, maybe a conversation with a coworker, just sit for 5 minutes first. Anywhere, before you go in, just sit for 5 minutes first. Ask God to show you what you have been hiding in that particular relationship. Nothing big, just something small. Maybe you've been smoothing over again and again. Something maybe they said or how they're saying it, it just sort of like irks you, or you have some dissonance, for it, but for whatever reason, you just brushed it aside. You're going to go into the situation, you're going to say it, and you're not going to add any taglines to it. You're not going to front it with an apology. And afterward, here's the most important part. This is for us. This is not for them or anyone else. Notice how your body feels afterwards. Notice what emotions you are feeling. Try and absorb all of what it is, because you're going to use that as intel for what's actually at the root of how you're responding and acting. So if it's a tightness of the chest, or if it's a immediate urge, to say something to smooth it over or to take it back. You're not looking for proof that you did something wrong. You're looking for the tells or the telltale signs of how you used to protect yourself or how you have been protecting yourself. When you begin to feel it, I want you to internally say, I am not in danger. I am safe. It is okay. I am just out of practice with being known authentically. And that's it. Small and repeatable. Remember how we began this. There were small, repeated actions that took place that built this other version of protection. So now we're sort of countering that with small, repeatable actions where our authentic and God-given selves are. You're just going to do conscious, intentional practice. Some part of you is ready to find out what your actual voice is and sounds like when it's not managing other people's response and comfort levels. I want you to check out the free Clarity Compass workbook, and I want you to check out the section called Soul Clarity. That's where this conversation lives. And while you're at it, subscribe to Deep Work Haven. We're not rebuilding based on approval. We are rebuilding based on clarity. See you in the next one. Check out these videos here for more conversations.